All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Wimbledon quarterfinal day 2. And it's probably the bigger day of the two, the more interesting day of the two, because there's a lot of high-profile matches going on. Yesterday, we watched Fritz take out Hashanov. We watched Alcaraz breeze through Norrie. We watched, on the women's side, Sabalenka fight through Sigamon. That was a tough one. And then Anisimova beat Pavlyuchenkova. But now we're going to find out who on the other half of the draw is going to play who. So we've got Swiatek taking on Samsonova. Samsonova have played a few times, but on the grass, Samsonova's not bad on the grass. So this could be really interesting. We've got Andreeva taking on Bencic. That's coming up in like 30 minutes. And then Djokovic takes on Kaboli, which is a bit, maybe not the most random match because we had Norrie, but that'll be interesting to see how Kaboli can do. And then we're supposed to have Sinner versus Shelton, so we'll wait and see. Sinner practiced this morning. He looks like he's ready to go, but again, we will wait and see. But how are we doing? What's been going on, chat? Are we ready for the final day of quarterfinals? And then tomorrow, women's semi-final day, the men's semi-final day, then the two finals. We've got 4 days left of Wimbledon. After today, 4 days left. And only a handful of matches. Grand Slams finish very abruptly. All of a sudden, it's over. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? So I'm tired. Yeah, it's been pretty hectic the last few days. Sinner was training this morning. Yeah, he was. He had an arm sleeve. But yeah. He's probably got 2 hours to get ready because after the Swiatek match is going to be Sinner. So I don't think Swiatek's match is going to be 4 hours, 3 hours long, right? I mean, it's probably going to be maybe 2 hours. So if we don't hear anything within the next hour from Sinner, we probably won't. It means he's playing, right? It means that we're going to watch him play Shelton, which is great. And I have a feeling that Sinner's not going to just go like if Sinner canceled the practice this morning, you would have thought he's not playing, right? No way. But he practiced this morning, and from what I saw, he looked okay, just with the arm sleeve. He's going to probably attempt to play. Now, does he play the whole match? We'll find out because he might come out. Shelton might hit 150-mile-an-hour bomb, and it might just buckle the arm, and that's going to be enough. But I think he's going to attempt to play. Again, if he wasn't going to play, he wouldn't have played this morning, and he trained the whole time. So, apparently he trained all good. And he looks sore because he had the arm, but. Yeah, the arm sleeve, but he seemed to be training, so we'll see. Shelton to win easy money. I wouldn't do that. Sinner Prime, it's incoming. Okay. The odds are dropping low for Shelton. Yeah, I mean, because I guess people are scared of what Sinner's going to do, or what Sinner's not going to do. So, people are worried about Sinner's arm, and they should be. Let me have a look at... Let me have a look at what... if Sinner's ever retired during a match, or lately, because some players have a pride of, if I start, I'm going to, if I start the match, I'm going to finish the match. So we'll see if... I'll see whether or not he's recently retired during a match. Because he's pulled out of before matches, but he hasn't. I don't think has he recently retired a match? He's had walkovers, like I said, but some like Federer, right? He never retired mid-match. Last time Sinner retired was actually against Raonic. No, that was for Sinner. Let me check. Loss by retirement. So 5 times. Bublik in 2023. So 2 years. Sinner hasn't retired from a match in 2 years. He also retired in Miami. He retired 2022. 2022 French Open, he retired in the 4th round. He retired in 2022 against Runa in Sofia. And he also retired in Vienna against Rublev. So a couple of times he has, but he hasn't done for 2 years. So it's been a while since he's retired mid-match. So we'll see. When Medvedev, he didn't retire when he lost. Yeah, I mean, yeah, last year he was not 100% and he played, right? He played the whole way. So, yeah, maybe, again, sometimes it's a player pride thing. So if he plays, he might, even if he loses, he might play and, he might, even if, he's losing, I don't think he's going to retire. Like, he didn't retire the other day. I mean, he literally got hurt in the first game and then he played for the entire match until, unfortunately, Dimitrov had to retire. But, yeah, I mean, Sinner was hurt the first game of that match and played for 2 hours. So if he was going to retire, it would have been in that match. Can Shelton handle the pressure if Sinner is not fully fit? We'll find out. That'll be an interesting pressure because, if you're playing someone who's not 100%, that does play on you, that can play on your mind. We'll see whether or not plays on Shelton's mind a little bit, thinking that he's playing someone who's not 100%. But we'll see. Like I said, after this match, that's when Sinner will play. So unless we hear something in the next hour or so, he's going to be playing. All right. Players better walk out on court. There's a big opportunity. Big opportunity mainly for Iga Swiatek at the tournament that she has the strangest losses. Maybe this in Australia, but this is definitely one that has. She doesn't have her best, best results. She's never lost to Samsonova, so she should be confident enough. She's actually only lost the one set. That was back in 2022 in Stuttgart. They played last year's US Open. It was a straight sets easy win in the fourth round. So big opportunity for Iga Swiatek. But remember, in the 2023 competition, she made the quarterfinals, lost to Svitolina. So maybe it's not as easy as it seems. But she's definitely the favorite. She should definitely be the favorite as well. So far this week, they've both played about 5.5, 6 hours each. Both serving well. Swiatek's actually winning a lot of first serve points. Swiatek, she has been broken only the 4 times this week. Samsonova's been broken the 7 times. So that's interesting. Neither player has lost a set. Swiatek's lost the 1 set. Samsonova has lost 0 sets. Coming in, she's beaten Joint, Starobdubseva, Kazatkina and Moniro all in straight sets. Only a couple of 7-5s against Moniro in the last round. And Swiatek's only dropped the 1 set to McNally in the first set and then came back to win easily. She beat Collins and Towson in straight sets. Towson wasn't 100%. Looks like she was sick. But Collins was fine and she wrecked Collins. So, I mean, Swiatek must be feeling pretty good after that particular win. Samsonova made the semifinals of Berlin. Lost to Wong, who ended up making the final, of course. She did beat Pegula, Anisimova, and Osaka along the way, so not bad. And, of course, Swiatek made the final of Bad on Berg and lost to Pegula. But she beat Alexandrova, Azarenka, and Paolini along the way. So both have had a lot of good grass court victories. But Samsonova never made the semis of a slam. And I'm sure she knows that this is a chance because of the surface. If this was on hard courts or clay, you'd say maybe she can't get to it. But being the grass, Samsonova's got a greater chance. She's never made it to the quarterfinals before. First quarterfinal of a slam for Samsonova, and is trying to make a semi in her first attempt. Swiatek has been here and done that a million times, and I think Swiatek's quarterfinal record is some crazy. I mean, she made the quarterfinals here before, but I'm pretty sure her quarterfinal record is something crazy too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 quarterfinals and 3 losses. 8 wins, 3 losses in quarterfinals of slams, which is kind of crazy. Swiatek's Grand Slam record is something not spoken about because at this point in her career, if she doesn't win them, then they don't count. But her record at slams, she has an 82% winning record at slams. Obviously, the French Open being the best one, 40 wins, 3 losses. Here is her worst, 11 wins, 5 losses. But yeah, she's won 5 out of 25 slams she's played. So pretty crazy record. Gone pretty well. Averaging a slam a year almost in her career. And has made the semifinals. And again, hasn't been spoken about because we're so used to Swiatek winning titles. She hasn't won a title in a year. But Swiatek has made the quarterfinals of the last 4 slams in a row. And she's made the semifinals of the last 2. Even though she didn't win the French, which we all expected her to because, Swiatek's the queen of clay. But she made the semis of Australia, semis of French, and she's trying to make the semis of Wimbledon, which will be a first time that she's done. She's already the first time she's made the quarterfinals or better at every slam in the same calendar year so far. But it would be the first time she's ever made the semifinals of Wimbledon, but also the semifinals of the first 3 events of the year at the Grand Slams, and then going to the US Open. Depending on the schedule, the draw, she'll try and attempt to make it 4. But yeah, big opportunity too, because as we saw yesterday, Sabalenka is not a sure thing to win. I mean, if Sigismund's going to trouble Sabalenka, Swiatek plays her in the final, maybe there's something they can do there. Obviously, Andreeva is still around, who can definitely beat Sabalenka in a final. We saw that at Indian Wells. And Anisimova is no pushover in that next round. So this tournament is still up for grabs. There's still 6 players that could legitimately win this trophy. There's no favorite. There might be the number 1, but there's no favorite for me. Anyone can still win. And as we found out in 2023 and 2024, that definitely is true. When we get to the quarterfinals, it's not said and done. It's not obvious. There's no obvious champion at the moment. Especially yesterday, after that Sigismund match, I think that kind of maybe changed things. And maybe gave everyone else a look at this title. All right. Players on court. And they're about to begin. All right. Maybe Sinner could have been on the brink of exit, taking a set at most. I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe. But he'll play today, and we'll see how he does against Shelton. It could be a very tricky... I mean, it was already going to be a tricky match with Shelton, but it could be a very interesting clash. All right, they're just warming up, and then we'll get started. All right. But what's going on, everybody? How are we doing? Are we ready for the day? We've also got Andreeva taking on Bencic coming on in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So we'll do that as well. And then we'll get to the men's matches later. Hopefully 2 men's matches. By the way, Chad, unless Sinner pulls the pin after this first set here, but we know Swiatek can win matches in 1 hour. So I feel like if Sinner was going to withdraw, it would have been before the day's play. It would have been now because Swiatek's match could go an hour. And then he's got to play straight after this. So unless he leaves it until literally the last minute, which I don't think he'd do, I think he'd probably tell them, hey, after the practice session, I'm not playing. I don't think Sinner's going to withdraw. Also, he looked good in the practice. Like, he looked okay, just with the arm sleeve. So I would be shocked if Sinner pulled out, like, after this match finished. Because you'd be like, well, why is he leaving it to the literal last minute if he already knew? Sinner won't withdraw. No, I don't think he will either. Did you see the post from Mirra for Conchetta? I did see that. It was funny. Sure, he would have already pulled out already. Yeah, exactly. Unless he pulls out like during this first set of this ladies' match, this match could go for this match could be over very quickly. It happens a lot with Swiatek that the matches don't go that long. So I don't think he'd be sitting around waiting for this match to end before he goes, I'm not going to play now. So I think that's a good sign that he will be playing. Unless something comes out in the next, half an hour. All right. Last few serves, and then we will begin. All right, 4-0. They played all on hard courts and one clay court, so 3 hard, 1 clay. And this is the first grass meeting. And Samsonova does have a good grass court record against Sabalenka. You're right. Great opportunity for Anisimova. Samsonova is in the category of good players that can't be consistent through the course of a Grand Slam. She needs to break out like Madison Keys will do at the Australian Open. Maybe, yeah. And this is the first time she's playing a quarterfinal, Samsonova. So this is going to be playing someone she's never beaten in her first quarterfinal. You know, it's a lot. There's a lot to do. Okay. Swiatek's going to serve first. So here we go. Swiatek to serve first. Who you got, chat? I have Swiatek in 3. I think Samsonova might probably pushes her a little bit, but I think Swiatek, based on quarterfinal Grand Slam experience, will get it done. That's my guesstimation. Sinner at 70% might still be enough to beat Ben. Maybe. We'll see. They will be playing in a little bit. Here we go. Swiatek to serve in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon. She's never made the semis. Only Grand Slam she hasn't made the semis at. All right. Swiatek serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. As return goes a forehand of Samsonova. Another forehand into the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek in the net. Samsonova has a very scary forehand. She can hit the ball very flat and very... It's kind of a little bit Krejcikova-like. It's kind of like a Raducanu, Krejcikova, Ostapenko. I mean, any of those big hitting... Her forehand has that ability to just kind of rocket Madison Keys, right? It has that danger to it. Her backhand's pretty solid too, but it's really the forehand that, if it's on, it's very, very tough to play. Love 15. Also, the serving of Samsonova will be key. Swiatek serves the backhand of Samsonova. Return goes the backhand of Swiatek. Samsonova forehand inside out winner. There it is. Right on time. Love 30. And there's that shot. Love 30. Just an aggressive slap. You just got on a plane? Damn, that's unlucky timing. All right, Swiatek in the forehand. Samsonova. Return goes wide. 15-30. Swiatek serves the forehand Samsonova on the stretch. Swiatek cross-court forehand winner, 30-all. 30-all. All as Swiatek serves again. Fault. Who do you think is going to win? I think Swiatek in 3. As the return goes into the back, and Swiatek backing up from Samsonova is good. Swiatek on the stretch gets it, the back of Samsonova. To the back of Swiatek. Samsonova backing into the forehand of Swiatek off the tape and wide. And it's break point for Samsonova to take the break straight away. 30-40. Swiatek has no title since the French Open last year. That is correct. Swiatek serves. An ace. Whew. All right, deuce. I'll tell you this, Chad. Even though she hasn't won a title since 2024 for Roland Garros, she's made a lot of semifinals. Including semifinals of the first 2 Grand Slams of the year. All right, Swiatek with the fault, second serve. As the return goes in, the forehand Swiatek. Point out from Samsonova. It is out, and it's advantage Swiatek. Yo, don't suspend me this time. All right, don't put scores in the chat, please. You put scores in the chat, that's breaking one of the biggest rules in the chat. Don't put the scores in the chat, please. All right, advantage Swiatek. The default second serve. What's the update on Dimitrov's injury? Apparently he's torn his pectoral muscle, which could be out for months. So that is not a good thing. So he might be gone for a while. Hopefully he's there for the US Open, but it's a wait and see. Samsonova hits it long, and Swiatek wins the first game of the match. 1-love. One love. Do you know why Samsonova wears tape on her knee? Probably just precaution. I know that Rafa used to wear tape on his knee like that for tendinitis. Is that what it's called? So I would say that it's probably got to do with that. Maybe just a precautionary thing to keep her knee stable. That would be my guesstimation. All right, 1-love. One zero. All right, let's see how Samsonova serves. Is this going to be a Swiatek Sabalenka final? I hope so. That'd be awesome. I'd love that. That'd be great. But I feel like it's going to be maybe Andreeva making the final. If Andreeva beats Bencic today in straights, I would say that, and Swiatek wins as well. I think Andreeva, Swiatek, I don't know. I mean, Andreeva doesn't have the experience, so maybe she'll get nervous, and Swiatek will be. I don't know. Now, maybe you know what? Maybe it is going to be a Swiatek Sabalenka final. 15-love. We haven't had them play in a final of a slam, so why not? I mean, they were the 2 best players on the planet for so long. You know, there's a bit of forehand now from Swiatek in the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek slice. Samsonova forehand inside out winner. 30 love. All right, 30 love. Serving the forehand Swiatek. Find out from Samsonova. Goes long. 30-15. All right, 30-15. As a return goes in the forehand of Samsonova. Back in Swiatek to the slice of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand cross. Samsonova gets on the stretch. Swiatek cross court in the net. And it's 40-15. Think good matchups coming back. All the matches today are pretty good. All the matches today are great. I think today's matches are much better than yesterday. Or on paper. I think yesterday's matches, the only really, like... I feel like yesterday's matches, there wasn't any... Like, I mean... Fritz Hashanov was probably the best match on paper. But today's matches, like, every match today is, like, a good... Like, Bencic is obviously coming back, so she's unseated, but... Against Andreeva, great clash, never played before. Shelton Sinner is the best quarterfinal of the bunch. Swiatek is a return winner, 40-30. This is a great matchup on grass. Interesting, like great test for Swiatek on grass. Sabalenka Sigmund match was great, right? I'm saying in on paper. So that before the match, yeah, in hindsight. By the way, Sigmund Sabalenka was not that good. It was like a good clash, but it was ugly. Like it wasn't a good match quality. It was a long match and it was like a dramatic match. It definitely wasn't fun. All right, 1-1. But yeah, what I'm saying is when we got the quarterfinals on paper, we looked at them and we went, oh, that one's good. You know, like I don't think anyone thought Sigmund Sabalenka was going to be the best match yesterday. On paper, yeah. Meaning before the matches. That's before they start. That's what on paper means. It means before the matches begin. When we look at the piece of paper. 1-1. Samsonova, by the way, already talking to the umpire about Swiatek taking too much time between points. All right. Samsonova's not mucking around. 1-1. There's a bit of fault from Swiatek. Second serve. Swiatek double faults. All right, love 15. All right. As the backhand goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek puts it away. 15-0. All right, 15-0. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. As we get a return from Samsonova, Swiatek runs to the net from a drop shot and then comes in net with a volley winner. Nice from Iga, and it's 30-15. 30-15. $30-15. $30-15. Serve again. Serve to the backhand of Samsonova. Backhand of Swiatek in the net. 30-all. 30-all. Ooh. 30-all. Swiatek serves again. The backhand, Samsonova in the net. 40-30. $40-30. Hey, Domini, thank you for the 13 months. As the return goes to forehand Swiatek. Forehand now from Samsonova. Again, the forehand Swiatek as Samsonova hits it out. It's 2-1. Swiatek with the lead. All right. 2-1. We got the other match coming up in a second as well, so we'll get that going soon as well. All right. 2-1. Cool. Any idea when Djokovic and Sinner will play? They're playing after these ladies' matches. So once Swiatek's match is done, Sinner will play Shelton, and once Andreeva finishes, then Djokovic will play. All right. Samsonova serves. So it goes out by Swiatek on the return. 15-love. Great coverage as always. Rooting for Swiatek this time. Love from the Philippines. Hey, shout out to you. And shout out to the Philippines. 15-love. Wimbledon fan. The other one comes on at 2 p.m. Okay. So it goes out by Swiatek. 30-love. $30-love. As a return winner by Swiatek. 30-15. $30-15. Nole is coming on at midnight from Cam Central. Okay. I don't know what that means. Kaboli will win 6 games, apparently. Okay. Samsonova 40-15. 40-15. Swiatek returns, and Samsonova puts it away. 2-all. They should leave the doubles and put on Wimbledon extra... What? What about doubles? Nole is the true GOAT. What a contender at his age. Yeah. Back to Swiatek. 2-all. As the return goes back to Swiatek. Back in our Samsonova. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Samsonova forehand to the backhand of Swiatek. The backhand of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand again. The forehand of Samsonova dumps it in the net. 15-love. There's a bit of fault to conserve. Uh, 30-love. There's a backhand now from Samsonova to the backhand. Swiatek who's a winner down the line. Beautiful shot, 40-love. All right, 40-love. As return goes back to Swiatek. Samsonova forehand winner, 40-15. Samsonova's a good player, yeah. I think it's Samsonova, not Samsonova. By the way, it's because the TV's saying that. You can say it either way. Also, I tend to hear a lot of like complaints about how they say it on the coverage, not just Samsonova, but a lot of names. So I don't know if taking the TV as gospel is the best idea. I might be saying it wrong, but they also get a lot wrong and people freak out. So maybe we're all wrong. Nobody knows anything. So I'm going to say Samsonova because Samsonova just sounds weird. To me, it sounds weird. Like Alcaraz. I don't say Alcaraz, even though it might be the Spanish way of saying it. But I'll say Alcaraz. Hey, welcome everybody. We've got two quarterfinals. These two are playing each other, and then the other two are playing each other, and then they'll all play each other in the semis. That's how the match works. Andreeva Bencic is about to kick off. We've got Swiatek and Samsonova taking the court on court one, and then Sinner is playing after Swiatek, and then Djokovic after Andreeva. So, big day, quarterfinals day, and then tomorrow is the women's semis. So these players who win today will play tomorrow. No rest for any of them. All right. And Andreeva Bencic are hitting the court. Never played before. Hugh Grant's in the house. Hey, it's Camilla the Queen. Kind of queen. What does she do? She is married to the king. She's the... What does that mean? What does that mean again? I don't know. She's the queen... Kind of. She's kind of the queen, I guess. I don't know. By marriage. The first lady queen. I don't know what her name is. I mean, her name's Camilla, but what is she? The consort. I knew that. The consort. The queen consort. That's what I meant. She's the queen adjacent. That's what I meant. Queen consort. She is the queen. But wait, if Charles dies, is she the queen, or does Will take over? How does it work? I'm not a royalist. I don't understand how it works. You hear Swiatek pronounced different ways all the time. Yeah, but I say it right. Does she take? Will takes over. Okay, William takes over, and she becomes. What does she become then? Her title goes away. Ooh, that sucks. I guess she's not the blood of. She doesn't have the blood of a royal, right? She's not. She's like married into it, so she doesn't. That doesn't. Is that how? That's right. That's why, right? You have to have the royal blood flowing through your veins to become Trisha. That's harsh. You have to. She becomes the queen mother. Okay. Apparently, she's a nice lady, though. So I don't know about. I'm not a royalist. Anyways, 15-all. They come visit us like once every 50 years. They go, oh, Australia. Yeah, we better go down there and say hi, just to remind them that we rule them. Say, oh, hi. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thanks for showing up. All right. 30-15. Samsonova trying to level. Oh, was she? Okay, I don't know then. Chad, I don't know any of this shit. Don't ask me questions about the Royals, all right? I have no idea. Just because I'm from Australia doesn't mean I know shit, all right? I barely know anything that happens here. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, chap. We need to move on from the Queen thing, all right? Move on. We need to move on. We need to move past the royal family stuff, all right? Anyways, 40-15. All right, let's stop talking about Camilla. She's there, and that's enough, all right? She's watching tennis. Leave the lady alone. Let's move on. Move on. Move the hell on. Anyways, Hugh Grant's there. He's an actor. Is he good? I don't know. Is he great? I don't know. He hates people though, and that's funny. When he goes to interviews and he's like, "Oh, people suck." Is he good? Is he good? I don't know. I don't know anything, chat. Does anybody? Everyone's good, bad, indifferent. 40-30. Chat, is he all right? Do we like him? Hello? Is he all right? He was in a movie. He's in movies. He played in Willy Wonka. He played a thing. He played he was in that, the Wonka movie recently. He's okay? Okay. We like him? Okay. All right, cool. He was in like a whole bunch of like 90s like romantic stuff, right? Wasn't he like the prime minister of something once? Anyways, 40-30. He was the Oompa Loompa, right? 40-30. And do a backhand rally. Swiatek gets the deuce. Samsonova hits it long. Bridget Jones and stuff. Yeah, he's in those movies. All right. We get the deuce. Serve into the forehand. Swiatek. Return goes to forehand to Samsonova. Swiatek backhand on the stretch. Samsonova forehand is into the slices. Swiatek. Samsonova forehand again. Into the backhand of Swiatek. In the back of Samsonova. She slices it into the backhand of Swiatek. Samsonova backhand again. Into the back of Swiatek. Samsonova backhand again. Goes out and Swiatek's got a break point. What time will they play the finals in the day? I have no idea. He was in The Heretic. Apparently that's a good movie. I have to find it. Great actor Hugh Grant. He played that evil in a film still need to watch. Yeah, the Heretic. Apparently that's really apparently it's creepy. Advantage Swiatek. Maybe I'll get that. It's on my list of things to watch. Serve down the tee. The forehand Swiatek return goes in, but it's a fault. So second serve. Who's the queen? There is no queen. It's a king at the moment. And there'll be a... So what? How does it work, chat? So it goes... I don't know. William George? Is that how it works? Forehand now across court, and the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand again. The forehand of Samsonova sliced in the net. There's the break. Swiatek 4-2. Goes Charles William George, right? It's always the firstborn, I guess, right? So there won't be a queen for a while unless George has a daughter, maybe? I don't know. Is that how it works? Hugh Grant's there, chat. He's an actor. He's great. I like his sunglasses. Where can I get those from? 4 p.m. UK finals. There you go. All right. Swiatek breaks 4-2. She has the break. And Bencic is going to serve first against Andreeva. Who you got, chat? I'm going to go Andreeva in 3. Andreeva in 3. All right. Swiatek with the break, 4-2. As the return goes into the net from Samsonova. Serves again. Fault. Second serve. By the way, chat, just a question. I don't want to open up a can of worms and get all political and shit, but what do the Royals do? What's their role in 2025? What do they do? 15-0? Like, what is the... Like, what is their role? What are they supposed to be doing? Besides just, like, you know, something to look up to or something. Nothing? No, I'm sure they do something. Charity? Okay. Symbolic, constitutional, represent the country. Okay. Create laws. Do they? Lots of charity work. All right. 40 love Bencic. Forty love as Bencic serves a fault. Second serve. Swiatek 30-15. All right, 30-15. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. Andreeva wins the point, by the way, 40-15. As the return goes in there from Samsonova, 40-15. Yeah, Fognini retired. He just announced his retirement as of now. And I think after playing that Alcaraz match, that's a great way to finish his career. There's no more tournaments in Italy, so, you know, makes no sense that... Doesn't make sense for him to wait to go back to Italy to play because there's no more Italian tournaments. Bencic holds 1 love. So, yeah. All right, return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand now from Samsonova. Goes long, and it's 5-2 Swiatek first set. They said the queen's in the royal box. Who's the queen? Okay, we're just going around in circles. We're going back to the start. Camilla is there. Queen Camilla. Royals used to have power. Now it's more of a show of power. I feel like they're still very influential, though. I've been to the UK. They did parades and stuff. Okay. One love Bencic. As return from Bencic goes out. 15 love. Love. There's a bit of fault from Andreeva. Second serve. As Andreeva double faults. 15-0. Chat, what's your favorite part of Wimbledon? What's your favorite part about Wimbledon, chat? Besides tennis, don't be a smartass. What's your favorite thing about Wimbledon, chat? Is it the tradition? Is it the glamour? The grass court? What is it? What's your favorite thing about Wimbledon? The poshness? Okay. Strawberries? All right. The green grass? As that goes out by Andreeva. 15:30. The tradition. Strawberries and cream Sunday breakfast at Wimbledon. Okay. The grass courts. The essence of summer. The clothes, okay. Grass courts. The history. Tradition. 15:30s with a backhand rally. Andreeva to the backhand of Bencic, who hits it down the line wide. 30-all. Grass season is so short. It is. The grounds are beautiful and the hush before the serve and the roar of the applause. Nice. All right, 30-all. Andreeva serves again. Into the backhand, Bencic in the net. 40-30. By the way, chat, after stream yesterday, I ordered McDonald's, and guess what I got? I've never had this before, and I didn't realize the thing. Australia officially have, for maybe a limited time, I had a McGriddle, and that shit is amazing. Though not a sponsor, I wish they were. Crazy. McGriddles are insane. All right, Deuce. I had a sausage and egg McGriddle, and I had a bacon and egg McGriddle, and they're incredible. They're insane. I don't think I've ever been here. And I saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have one of those because people say they're good. What? Crazy. Anyways, advantage on Andreeva. So unhealthy, but so good. So good. So good. Anyways, advantage on Andreeva. Pancakes soaked in syrup and salty meat in the middle. Can't go wrong. I know. Or what could go wrong? I know. Andreeva holds 1-all. Swiatek returns in the forehand to Samsonova. Swiatek on the stretch. Into the forehand to Samsonova. Swiatek backhand into the backhand of Samsonova. Samsonova hits it out and we get the deuce. Hey, BJ, thank you for the 30 months. Appreciate it. McGriddle's a pancake sandwich. Yum. Oh, it's so good. The one with the bacon was so much better than the sausage and egg one because the bacon had like bacon and pancakes. Oh, ridiculous. We don't have a chicken McGriddle, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a chicken one. We only have the breakfast ones. But yeah, that was crazy. Because I remember people saying in the chat, oh, get a McGriddle, and we've never had them. And then I looked and I was like, oh, we have them. So good. So good. So good. So crazy. All right. Samsonova gets back to deuce. All right. Advantage Swiatek, take the break. But yeah, we don't have Chicken McGriddle. But we have the other ones. Crazy. They are crazy. All right. Just get McGriddle pancakes and make your own. I could do that. All right, 4-1 from Samsonova goes out. Swiatek, first set. 6-2. 6-2. 6-2. Swiatek, first set. Yeah, we don't have the tennis. We don't have the whatever. All right, 15-30 on Andreeva. Well, the chance to break here is that goes into the backhand slice of Andreeva. And then Bencic puts it away, 30-all. Could have done a mukbang with that order. I looked on the menu and I was like, I'm not going to eat anything. And I was like, I got to eat something because we finished so early and I wasn't going to go to sleep. And then I looked and I was like, okay. It was a good choice. Great choice. 30-all. As a return from Andreeva goes the backhand of Bencic. Andreeva backhand. Again to the backhand of Bencic. As Andreeva goes down the line. Bencic forehand on the stretch. Andreeva drop shot. Bencic is there with a backhand passing shot winner. 40-30. But yeah, I got to be careful because they're so good. I can't keep eating them. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. By the way, Swiatek played a solid set. Samsonova, a lot of errors. Butter chicken, coconut rice, perhaps. I loved that too. Can't go wrong with a McGriddle. McGriddles are great. They're just very... I just know that they're unhealthy because they taste so good. All right. $40-30. Bencic to take the lead again. Once a year. Yeah, I'm going to have I think that's what I'm going to have after the Wimbledon final. I think that's my celebratory meal would be a McGriddle. But I'm going to go and... I think that'll be my celebratory meal. Anyways, 40-30. As a forehand now from Bencic down the line goes long and we get to deuce. It's only 380 calories. You can have two. Don't enable me. Yeah, Australia has McGriddles. Well, at least in Melbourne they do. All right, we get the deuce. They're so good. All right. There's a bit of forehand rally. Bencic into the front of Andreeva. Andreeva hits it long and it's advantage Bencic. What's in them? They're basically a McMuffin, but they're made with, instead of buns, they're made of pancake. It's a pancake sandwich. All right, advantage Bencic. Leave it a serve in the form of Andreeva. Return the backhand to Bencic. Andreeva backhand goes long, and it's 2-1 Bencic in this first set. 2-1. What are your thoughts on Swiatek winning Wimbledon this year? Has a chance? I think she has a legitimate chance, yeah. I think she's better off playing Anisimova in the final. Because Anisimova, we saw yesterday, we got a little nervous. And I think if she plays Sabalenka in the final, that'll be a bit... that could be a bit dangerous, but I think she's got a better chance against... But then she's also got to beat Andreeva or Bencic, which is not easy either. So she's still got a long way to go. All right. Here we go. 6-2, Swiatek first set. Will Wim Fizette keep his job? I think he will, yeah. Do you know that Fognini announced his retirement? I do. I do know that. 15 love. By the way, chat, Sinner's coming on after Swiatek's match, and he hasn't withdrawn. So he is. I'm going to say 99% chance he's playing. 15 love. There's a bit of fault from Swiatek, second serve. I picked Amanda to get the trophy, okay. Mine has the Mighty McGriddle, which has got egg, bacon, cheese, and sausage. I'm sure I could build a McGriddle if I just got I went to McDonald's and I just bought I think you can buy just the McGriddle on it, the bun on its own, and then I could build one. Or I could just buy a McGriddle and a chicken sandwich and just combine them. If I really want to die. if I'm really feeling like I want to, increase my chances of if I'm living dangerous, you know what I mean? Backhand to backhand rally. Samsonova to the forehand Swiatek. Samsonova backhand on the stretch. Into the backhand to Swiatek, who puts it away. 30-15. Possibilities are endless, yeah. 15 all here is Andreeva forehand down the line. Into the backhand of Bencic. Andreeva comes in with the forehand and hits a drop shot winner. And it's 30-15. So nice when you have great food to look forward to. I don't know about great food, but yeah. A pancake sandwich, that's it. All right, 40-15. Swiatek looks to win the first game of the second set. And it's also 40-15 for Andreeva. All right, Swiatek serves. And to the forehand of Samsonova. Backhand to backhand rally that goes in the net from Samsonova. And it's 1-love Swiatek in the second. Swiatek takes the lead. All right. I think you mean junk food, yeah. That's exactly what I mean. What's the difference with Swiatek on grass this year? So all the game, she's been playing more aggressive since Wim Fizette's come on, right? She's trying to serve bigger. She's trying to play more aggressive. She's making more errors, but she's also, trying to play more aggressive. And I feel like all of the, she didn't win any clay events and, she's struggled. But I feel like on the faster courts, she's kind of done well. So, she's, the aggressive style on the clay has, caused her to lose more than we expected. But I kind of feel like all the things that she's been working on have come to work on this surface, on the grass, right? She made the final Made the final of Bad on Berg, first grass court final ever. She's doing well at Wimbledon. Might be her first semi-final. I mean, made the Australian Open semis too. Remember, that's a fast court. So I feel like her game on the faster courts, and if I go have a look, because what are some of the other faster venues? Like Miami, right? What's her game been like on the fast courts? Because, yeah, okay, her clay game sort of dropped a little bit, but her grass and definitely fast hard court game has gone up. And I think that's what Fizet was here to do, right? He was here to make her a little bit more aggressive, make her a little bit better on those surfaces. Yeah, quarterfinals, lost to Eala. Okay, that was that big shock. She lost to Andreeva in Indian Wells. She lost to Andreeva in Dubai. I'd say a chat. She lost to Penko. Swiatek's season has not been bad at all. She just hasn't won a title. She's lost to Gauff, Keys, Penko, Andreeva, Eala, that was the random one. Ostapenko again, Gauff, Collins, Sabalenka, Pegula. Like, we're talking about, like, every one of those players I mentioned is either currently in the top 10 or former top 10, except for Eala. Pegula, Sabalenka, Gauff, they're the best three players on the planet currently. Collins, former top 10. Ostapenko, former top 10 and Grand Slam champion, and Keys is also currently in the top 10. So, I mean, the last time Swiatek, besides the Eala match, the last time Swiatek lost to somebody that was outside, like, that had never been in the top 10, was Putintseva here at Wimbledon last year. So, like, she's only ever lost, like, I mean, her season, she's been losing to players we don't, necessarily expect her to lose to consistently. But, again, I mean, her season's not been that bad. It's just that she doesn't have any trophies because all the tournaments that she does well at, she runs into one of those players. So, all right. Love 40. Swiatek gets the break. Double fault with Samsonova. All right. Two love. Swiatek with a set and a break. All right. As Andreeva hits a lob, it goes in, and Bencic puts away the smash, 40-15. Check out Sabalenka's record. She has hardly played those players, and if does, it's final. Really? So Sabalenka's not okay. All right, Bencic holds 3-2. She used to run into top 10 players previous years, and she managed to win a lot of tournaments. Yeah. That's the only difference, is that everybody's kind of caught up to Swiatek. That's why she's not been as dominant. But again, yeah, like I said, like, she's lost to Gauff twice, Andreeva twice, Sabalenka, Pegula, Ostapenko twice. We all know about Penko. And then Keys. And then, yeah, Collins and Eala are the only two players that she, out of the top, like, Collins was former top 10, but Eala's the only random loss. And then we talk about what she's 39 wins, 11 losses. So they're all the top 10 losses and big losses, but she's also beaten Paolini, beaten Keys, she's beaten Raducanu twice, she's beaten Navarro, she's beaten Zhang, right? So she's also got a lot of top 10 wins too. In fact, Swiatek's record against top 10 this year is 6 wins, 4 losses. So she's, and again, back in the 2 years ago or 3 years ago, she was, she wouldn't have lost a match against top 10 players. But also everybody's gotten better. Coco's gotten better. Sabalenka's gotten better. Pegula's gotten better. Andreeva wasn't a thing, 3 years ago when she was dominating. So Sabalenka's 8-2. So they both played 10 top 10 players, but Sabalenka's won 8 out of 10, and Swiatek's won only 6 out of 10. So that's the difference. But it's not by much. Not much different. All right, 15-40. Samsonova a chance to break back. And I think Swiatek making it, even if she doesn't win Wimbledon, making it to the semis or final would be incredible. Because I don't think anyone expected Swiatek to do that at Wimbledon, right? I mean, we all expected at the French Open, but not Wimbledon. As a return goes the backhand of Andreeva, 15-love. And then a winner down the line from bench at 15-0 as Swiatek hits a forehand inside out to the backhand of Samsonova, goes wide. And it's 30-40. Cam, when you said that when she lost at the French Open, you said this was good because now she can drop down lower and it's good for her mental reset because it doesn't get any worse. Doesn't that mean you also thought she did bad? What do you were right with that, of course. What do you mean? Doesn't that mean you also think she did bad? I don't know what you mean. 15-30. Swiatek set the bar so high for herself last year. That's what I was saying. And that now, for the rest of the season, she doesn't have any points to lose. Really. Everything is up. Samsonova hits it long and it's deuce. Like, Swiatek hasn't got anything else to lose now. She had 4,000 points across 3 tournaments last year to defend. And that was near impossible to... only Rafa could defend those points on a clay court, right? Backhand to backhand rally as Andreeva into the backhand Bencic. Forehand from Andreeva sliced. Bencic again to the forehand slice of Andreeva, but Bencic is there with the backhand. Andreeva forehand cross, Bencic slices it back, but it's in the net and we get to 30-0. But now Swiatek's got a quarterfinal at the US Open, I think a semi-final in Cincy, and I think the WTA final she has a couple of points, but that's about it. Asian swing, she doesn't have anything to lose. She can play that for free. She can play Canada, with nothing to worry about. She can play this tournament now that she's made it this far. She's adding points to her total now, right? After losing to Putintseva last year in the third round, she's made the quarters. She could make the semis. That's going to add a lot of points to her total. So Swiatek's got really nothing to lose for the rest of the year. Until the Australian Open next year, or this January, when she plays the United Cup, like, Swiatek's got nothing to lose from now on. Unless she just completely loses the plot and loses every first round, but I don't think she's going to. So, like I said, all the pressure's off her, right? I mean, that pressure of defending Roland Garros, that pressure of defending the clay is gone. Yeah, no points at the Asian swing. She can play that for free. 2 1,000 events there that she can play without having to worry. There's 3 1,000 events that she can play that she has 0 points to defend. Because remember, last year, she also skipped Canada because she played the Olympics. So now she can play Canada and try and get those points that she lost last year from playing the Olympics. All right, Samsonova with a breakback point. 7 to the forehand, Samsonova return the net. We get to deuce. So Swiatek, it should be up and up now. And she's only seeded 8 here because she lost points before... Paolini gained points players behind her gained points at Queen's Club, or at Berlin, sorry. And she lost a couple of points in Berlin, and Swiatek dropped, down to number 8, because between 4 and 8 is really close. So she's only the 8th seed because of that. If she didn't drop and she was the 4th seed, she would have had to play Sabalenka in the semis, or Anisimova in the 4th round, which would have been... And also Noskova in the 3rd round, which would have been a nightmare. So she's probably been better off having been number 8. I know Collins was tough in the 3rd round, but obviously wasn't a tough match for her. But yeah, I mean, her draw could have been a lot worse had she been ranked higher. Which is weird to think. Because even if she was ranked number 7, as Andreeva is, she would have had to play Bencic now. She would have had to play Navarro. Krejcikova was around potentially as well, so that would have been a tough draw maybe for Swiatek. If she was number 5, she would have had to play Osaka in the second round, possibly, So being number 8 might have actually worked out the best for her, so far. If she loses today, then maybe not. All right. Advantage, Samsonova to get the break back. All right. Swiatek goes back to deuce. Yeah, Raducanu losing definitely helps Swiatek, but, All right, Swiatek. Long game here. 8-minute game. We've almost played 1 hour of tennis. All right, advantage Swiatek. Good serve. By the way, Bencic holds 4-3 first set. We've got Sinner coming on against Shelton after this Swiatek match. And then Djokovic is coming on after the Andreeva Bencic match. All right. Let's do a forehand rally. Samsonova to the backhand Swiatek. Samsonova forehand. Again, the backhand Swiatek. Samsonova backhand again to the backhand Swiatek. Samsonova hits a forehand. Outs, and it's 3-love Swiatek in the second. Good hold. Long, tough game, but she gets the hold. And it's 3-love in the second. Swiatek is cruising. Now, Pat, Sinner and Shelton will come on after Swiatek. So Swiatek's match has to finish first. And then it begins. All right. Andreeva serving 4-3 for Bencic. There's Andreeva back into the net in love 15. I'll tell you, Chad, I wouldn't, as much as Andreeva Swiatek's a good match, I wouldn't mind the Bencic Swiatek rematch. Wimbledon, 2 years ago, was so good. Match point saving match. Swiatek got the win. It was a great contest. I think either way, it's going to be great, right? Either way, Swiatek's got a tough match, but I wouldn't mind the Bencic Swiatek rematch. If we get that, it wouldn't be a bad match, I don't think. All right, 15-0. As Andreeva serves into the forehand, it's an ace. 30-15. Cam, happy you don't have to stay up as late or early? What do you mean? I definitely have to. I definitely have to stay up late. What are you talking about? Djokovic's match is probably going to go 3 hours, so that means I'm going to stay up until probably at least 3 a.m. Maybe 4 a.m. if this match keeps going long. So I mean, I'm not going to sleep early. I don't know what you're talking about. Cam, you're your boss here. Don't concentrate on match. Don't get distracted. Why are you spamming that? Love 15. Swiatek looking for that double break, and it's 4-all. Andreeva Bencic in the first. Nole's going the distance. I think it'll be 4 sets. I think Caboli will win a set. But I don't think... Djokovic will outlast him. All right, 4-4. As Bencic serves the forehand of Andreeva. Return goes forehand of Bencic. Andreeva slice. Into the backhand of Bencic. Backhand of Andreeva again. The backhand of Bencic. Andreeva forehand again to the Bencic backhand. As Andreeva in the net. And it's 15-love. All right. Samsonova serving to get on the board in the second. I thought things would be done earlier now that it's not the first week. Tomorrow might be done earlier because I think tomorrow the matches start around this time, but there's only 2 matches and there's only 2 3-setters. So tomorrow might be an earlier finish, but then the men's semi-finals are going to be late because they always go run late. The finals are always early though. I mean, the women's final anyway. There's always like not a long night, 40-15. 40-15. I like both Bencic and Andreeva, but I agree, Cam. I would love to see another Bencic-Swiatek match. Yeah, I don't think we can go wrong with either of those matches. All right, 30-love. Return goes in the back of Bencic, and Bencic hits it in the net. 30-15. Samsonova double faults, 40-30. Hugh Grant is in the stands. Yep. He sure is. All right. 40-15. 40-15. As we get a serve again from Bencic. And the forehand of Andreeva. Return goes out. And Bencic holds. 5-4. Andreeva's going to serve to stay in the set. All right, 40-30. Samsonova to get on the board here in this second set. 40-30. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Seven to the forehand, Swiatek. Forehand now from Samsonova. Swiatek down the line. Samsonova backhand again to the forehand, Swiatek. Samsonova another backhand into the forehand, Swiatek, who hits it in the net. Samsonova on the board. 3-1. Swiatek with a set and a break. All right, 3-1. 3-1. Swiatek serves. Forehand Samsonova. Forehand Swiatek to the backhand of Samsonova. Into the forehand Swiatek, who hits it out. And it's love 15. Chow, what are you doing after Wimbledon? What's the plan after Wimbledon? Are you going to catch up on sleep? Are you going to... What is your plans after Wimbledon, Chow? Anyone do anything fun after Wimbledon? Anyone doing anything exciting? Seems it's summer as well, right? It's summer in most of the world. Not here. It's freezing here. Yep, both games at the same time. That's how Wimbledon does it. And Swiatek in the net, love 30. Going to the beach, going to work, catch up on life, cycling. I follow this guy on Instagram. He was he probably still is, but he was like an X Games. I think it was X Games. X Games, well, at least an X. God, what was his name? He rides around London at like 5 a.m. and just tells stories. I love it. It's so fun. What's his name? I literally watched it this morning. John Verity. John Verity. I think he used to be like a skateboarder, snowboarder. And he rides around London, just tells stories about London at 5 a.m. when no one's awake. So much fun. I'm like, that's so cool. I want to ride around the city with no traffic. Maybe I'll do that in Melbourne in the summer. I'll just ride a bike around the city at 4 a.m. when no one's awake. I love 40. Chance for Samsonova to break back. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. Going to play more pickleball. Cool. You join a new team at work. Nice. We'll enjoy that. Swiatek serves. Into the backhand Samsonova. Forehand Swiatek is a winner. One saved. 15-40. So he talks to himself. No, he does what I do. He just talks to himself. Yeah. All right, 15-40. As Andreeva holds 5-all first set. As a serve down the backhand of Samsonova. Backhand of Swiatek. Into the backhand of Samsonova. Swiatek backhand. Again, the backhand of Samsonova. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Samsonova forehand on the stretch. Swiatek cross-court again. The forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand. Again, the forehand of Samsonova. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Samsonova back on the stretch. Swiatek forehand open court. Winner. 2 saved. 30-40. 30-40. You're going to finish university after Wimbledon. Cool. All right. 30-40. Still break point for Samsonova to get back on serve. Any news on Sinner? He is playing. He is playing after this Swiatek match. Backhand rally. Swiatek down the line to the forehand of Samsonova. Into the forehand Swiatek. Samsonova forehand. Again to the forehand Swiatek. Samsonova slice. And Swiatek forehand again to the backhand of Samsonova. Into the forehand Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out. We're back on serve. 3-2. 3-2. Redecorating. Yeah, I might be doing a little bit of that as well. I'm thinking of redecorating my my house. All right, 15-0. Bencic serving at 5-5. Good decision for Fognini to finish his career. Oh yeah, what a memorable finale as well. You know, great way to finish your career and play a 5-setter against Alcaraz. That memorable match. I mean, we won't forget Fognini's career with that memorable match. You know. All right. Bencic backhand into the slice of Andreeva. Bencic backhand again. The forehand of Andreeva. Into the forehand of Bencic as Andreeva backhand cross. Bencic gets it with the backhand. But it goes out. All right, 15-30. Chance for Andreeva to break. In Melbourne here, we have a guy riding his bike. He stops for breakfast at McDonald's when he comes to find his chain has been cut. Bike gone. Well, that's stupid. Why would people steal a bike? You can get them for free. You can get bikes for you can go on Facebook Marketplace and people are giving bikes away. Are you much of a Star Wars guy? Nah. Nope, I am not. All right, 15-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Bencic. Bencic puts it away on the forehand side, and it's 30-all. What is next tournament after Wimbledon? Melchi, it is the next tournament that's worth watching that'll include a lot of big names is Washington, which is a week after Wimbledon. So the week after Wimbledon, yeah, there's tennis, but there's not so many big names playing. But the next big event, or the next relevant event is Washington, and then the next big event is Canada. which is happening in 2 weeks after Wimbledon. 30-all with Bencic in the net. 30-40 break point for Andreeva. So that's the schedule. So Washington, Canada, Cincinnati. They're the 3 US Open. At least they're the 3 relevant US Open warm-ups. And then we've got the US Open. Yeah, Washington's kind of stacked this year too. I looked at the schedule and it's pretty stacked. 30-40. As Bencic serves into the forehand of Andreeva. Backhand Bencic down the line of the forehand of Andreeva sliced. Bencic forehand into the backhand of Andreeva on the stretch. As the Bencic forehand again to the forehand of Andreeva. Into the backhand of Bencic. Andreeva backhand slice. In the net, Bencic hangs on. Deuce. Canada in Toronto this year. It's both. I think the men play Montreal and the ladies play Toronto. All right, Deuce. Really hope Popperin can whip himself into shape for Montreal, or he'll fall down the rankings. Yeah. It's going to be a lot to defend, especially with a stronger field because players are going to play that event this year. Last year, they all played the Olympics instead. Well, most of them. And Canada was a shadow of itself. Fanini announced his retirement. Yep, he did. All right, 30-all. Swiatek looking for that second set break. 30-all. Samsonova serves. Another fault. Second serve. Second serve. Also advantage for Andreeva to get the break. Runa's going to have a big US Open. All right. I hope so. I would love Runa to make to the US Open final. As Swiatek gets a break point. Samsonova hits it out. 30-40. The ladies are playing Montreal, not Toronto. Are they this year? I can't remember who played what last year. Yeah, ladies Montreal and men are playing in Toronto. As Bencic puts away the winner and she gets back to deuce. Very important game here. Who won Barcelona on the clay this year? Runa. Cam, did you get enough rest after yesterday's stream? You seem tired? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, yesterday was a tough... I don't know why, but it was just such a... Yesterday just dragged on. I don't know why. Anyways, 30-40. Break point Swiatek in the second. Serving to the back of Swiatek. Return goes into the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand to the backhand of Samsonova. To the backhand of Swiatek. Samsonova on the stretch. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Samsonova backhand again. Into the Swiatek backhand. And Swiatek goes down the line wide. And we get to deuce. And Swiatek's starting to get angry. All right, advantage Bencic to stay in front. And she does. Andreeva hits it out in the return. And we get 6-5. 6-5 Bencic. Yeah, I think it's just that I'm just sick of doing double headers. I think that's what it comes down to. Like like I say this every time, chat. Double headers take out twice. Like they double the amount of concentration and work, and I'm just sick of doing double headers. So I'm glad today's the last day we have to do this. So then we can watch one match at a time, focus on what needs to be focused on, and we can actually take it all in. Because I'm like half the time I'm watching one match and I'm missing the other match, you know. Plus I got to read 2 different chats and all this, you know. It's all the whole thing. Or one, like I can't even read chat half the time anyway. So it's just double headers are just not fun. They burn my energy. They wear me out twice as fast. Swiatek gets it out. It's back to deuce. But after today, we got one match at a time. We can focus on one thing at a time, so I'm not being, watching 3 screens at once. All right, Andreeva trying to get to a tiebreak. And Samsonova trying to level this second set. She was down 3-love. Samsonova serves. Into the back of Swiatek. Return the back into Samsonova. Swiatek backhand down the line. Samsonova gets on the stretch, but it's in the net. And it's another break point for Swiatek. All right. Can't you do double header with one combined chat? I do have that. I have a combined chat. I meant just looking at the chat in general when watching 2 matches is hard. It's hard to split your focus 3 ways, chat. I tell you that. Watching 2 tennis matches and then also trying to communicate with an active chat is very, very hard. Splitting the attention 3 ways is not what I like to do. Anyways, double fault. Swiatek breaks 4-2. It's different when we're watching one match, and I can look at the chat when we're not watching the match. But then, when there's a break in play, but when there's a double header, there's no break in play. There's always something happening, like Bencic trying to break to win the set. 15-30. 15-30. You have to multitask. I tell you what, multitasking is a lie. Multitasking is not a productive way of performing. 15-30. Is it a forehand from Bencic? That goes wide. 30-all. You might think multitasking is a good idea, but it's... if you're doing 5 things at once, you're really doing 5 things very poorly. Instead of doing one thing really good. You know what I mean? Your attention only can go so far. All right, 40-30, great serve down the tee. And I can say that by watching 2 matches, I'm not doing as good of a job as I could if I was just watching 1. I know that. I'll do my best, though. Swiatek, though, she's cruising. 30-love. As Bencic hits a forehand into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva goes down the line of the backhand of Bencic. Andreeva backhand to the forehand of Bencic on the stretch. Andreeva comes in with a slice. Bencic pass. Andreeva volley. Bencic backhand again. In the net. We're going to a tiebreak. They haven't been broken. No breaks to serve in this first set. Andreeva, Bencic, tiebreak. Who you got, chat? Who's taking the tiebreak? Who is winning the tiebreak? Who you got, chat? Swiatek 40-love, trying to get to 5-2 in the second. Andreeva, Bencic, Andreeva. No worries, thank you, Cassie, appreciate it. Andreeva, okay, a lot of people going on Andreeva. 40-love, Swiatek. She serves for 5-2. Sinner comes on after Swiatek, by the way. Serving to the forehand of Samsonova, back into Swiatek to the back of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand into the forehand of Samsonova. Again, the forehand of Swiatek sliced, but it's in the net, 40-15. There's Bencic down the line to the backhand of Andreeva. Lob goes up and out. 1-love Bencic. 1-0 Bencic. All right, 40-15. Swiatek for a 5-2 lead. As Andreeva hits an ace down the tee, 1-1. All right, serving to the forehand of Samsonova. Good return. Slice from Swiatek. Samsonova comes in with a forehand winner. And it's 40-30. Winners of these matches play in the semifinals tomorrow. And it'll be the second match tomorrow because they'll give them the extra time. So the winners of these matches play each other in the afternoon tomorrow. All right, 40-30. Swiatek still a chance to take a 5-2 lead. As Bencic gets to 2-1. She gets a mini break. In the net by Andreeva. All right, backhand return from Samsonova. The back of Swiatek. Samsonova into the backhand again of Swiatek. To the back of Samsonova. Swiatek forehand again to the back of Samsonova. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Cross court, the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek slice on the stretch. Samsonova forehand cross court winner. Beautiful shot. And we get to deuce. Lovely shot from Samsonova. All right, nice serve from Bencic. 3-1. Chalk flew up. Did you know, chat, that at Wimbledon every day they paint the lines? Every day. Did you know that? Every day. Every day. And apparently they mow the grass every day. To 8 millimeters. 8 millimeters is the grass height. Consistently around the ground. 8 millimeter grass mowed every day, and they paint the lines every morning. Or every morning, I think it is. I think it's morning. Anyways, 3-1, Bencic, double faults, and it's 3-2. We're back on serve. Swiatek serves. Double fault advantage. Samsonova to get back on serve. All right, 3-2 Bencic. As the return goes in the back of the Bencic. Back into Andreeva. Bencic slice. Andreeva comes in and hits it out. Oh, bad miss. Bad miss by Andreeva. She knows it. 4-2. Swiatek serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. The forehand Samsonova return is out, and Swiatek gets back to deuce. All right. Andreeva down a mini break, but in the net on the return. 4-3. Bencic. 4-3. Bencic. Swiatek tries to keep the break. A deuce here. As Bencic serves a fault, second serve. And Swiatek making another error, and it's advantage Samsonova. Get back on serve. All right. Bencic with a forehand cross court. Beautiful shot. 5-3 Bencic. That's a lot of work, and yet the baseline looks so terrible after the first few days. Yeah, because that's where the players stand the most. I mean, they don't. Back in the day, it used to be a little more evenly spread because they'd serve and volley, but these days the baseline gets trampled for a lot longer as well because the grass is slower than it used to be. So the points are longer, so that means there's more time on court, which means more wear and tear. 6-3 Bencic. And Samsonova hits a return winner. Wow. Okay. We're back on serve. 4-3. All right. 6-3 Bencic to take the first set. As Andreeva serves. Into the back of Bencic. Andreeva backhand to the backhand of Bencic. Down the line goes into the forehand of Andreeva. Andreeva in the net. Bencic first set. 7-6. Bencic takes the first. All right. And Andreeva's got to get it together. 1 hour played in the first set, by the way. Long first set. Okay. Bencic takes the first. And we're back on serve here in the second set. Swiatek still winning though, 4-3. Nothing they can do. No time to seed new grass. Yeah. Maybe one day they'll figure out a solution where the grass doesn't turn different color, but then I think we don't like it. I mean, it's kind of it's such a unique, part of the grass that we go from a pure, green grass, and then by the end of the tournament, it's been worn, and you can kind of, the imperfections of the grass make it feel, we kind of know where we are in the tournament based on how bad the grass looks. It gets worse as we go along, but it's also like, it's not the worst thing, it's part of the part of it, All right, 4-3 Swiatek. Samsonova goes down the line. Swiatek with a forehand on the stretch as they go forehand to forehand. Samsonova again, the forehand to Swiatek. Into the forehand to Samsonova. Swiatek, forehand in the net. 15-love. And Andreeva is going to serve first in the second. That was the longest rally of the match, by the way. 13 shots between Swiatek and Samsonova. A 13-shot rally. All right, Bencic takes the first. Andreeva's going to serve first in the second, though, as Samsonova hits a lovely winner. 30-love. 30-love. As Samsonova serves again. 30-love as a return from Swiatek at the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek backhand in the net. 40-love. Samsonova to level the second. 40-love. Ah, 40-love. Samsonova forehand cross court. Swiatek gets on the stretch, but it's wild. Oh, it's in. It landed in. 40-15. 40-15. As with a forehand out of the back of Swiatek. Swiatek in the net, 4-all. Samsonova recovers. Remember, Swiatek was up 3-love, and she was also up 4-2, 40-love. And now it's 4-all. And this is a very important game for Swiatek. As Andreeva comes to the net, Bencic with a pass, Andreeva with a volley, Bencic with a backhand, Andreeva with a volley, winner, 40-15. Can Mirra win this? She's going to have to keep her cool because her first set was, the tie break was close, but it was a very close, no breaks of serve yet in this match, which is kind of wild. All right, 40-15. Slice goes into the back end of Bencic. Lob goes up from Bencic, but it's wide. Andreeva wins the first game of the second, 1-love. All right, served on the tee. Swiatek an ace. 15-love. $15-love. $15-love. right, 15 love. All right, 15 all as Swiatek tries to stay in front. Why are Russian athletes not allowed to play tennis but not in the Olympics and football? Because in tennis, it's more about representing yourself than your country. But the Olympics is all about representing your country. Football is about representing a team that I'm sure there's Russian footballers playing for clubs, but just not for the country. It's about playing for your country. That's anything that has anything to do with your country. Like we don't have the Russian and Belarusian teams can't play Davis Cup because it's a team thing. That's what it is. I don't know. Why do I need to explain this? It's been 3 years. Anyways, 30 love. Smash from Andreeva, too good, 30-15. Also 30-15 Swiatek. Now I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, what about America? Please don't. Please don't. 30-15. As the return goes out by Samsonova, 40-15. $40-15. Swiatek serves again. Chat, I don't make the rules, so call the people that do, all right? Call the ITF. Call the ITF and ask, all right? I don't make the rules. All right, 5-4. Swiatek stays in front. 5-4. 5-4. Swiatek 1 game away from the semis of Wimbledon. For the first time ever. All right, 30-15 is back in on the stretch from Andreeva. Forehand from Bencic into the forehand of Andreeva. Sliced. Into the forehand of Bencic as Andreeva slice again. Is a drop shot in the net. 40-15. 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. As Bencic serves again. And that goes out in the return from Andreeva. And it's 1-all. Bencic holds. Still no breaks to serve, which is very impressive for from these ladies. Serving very well. Sinner is playing after Swiatek. All right, Samsonova serving to stay in the match. Samsonova comes in, puts away the forehand, 15 love. Swiatek is winning the trophy for sure. That'd be cool. I would love that for her. All right, 15 lovers with a serve in the backhand of Swiatek. Forehand from Samsonova goes wide, and it's 15-all. 15-all. All right, 15-all. Samsonova serves again. As the return goes in forehand of Samsonova. Forehand from Swiatek. Again, the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek's slice goes in the net. And it's 30-15. 30-15. Andreeva. She serves a let. Now Swiatek in the net on the return. 40-15. Samsonova. As the return goes in the backhand slice of Andreeva. Oh, and then Bencic with a lob. And Andreeva slipped. And couldn't quite recover. 30-0. That could have been nasty. So luckily Andreeva's all right. But just kind of slipped. Was it on the... Yeah, she just kind of lost her foot. And then she just slams her racket into the ground as she fell. As with a fault from Andreeva. Second serve. Second serve. The backhand of Bencic. Andreeva forehand to the backhand of Bencic. As Andreeva with a forehand winner. And it's a winner. 40-30 as Andreeva looks to stay in front. All right. $40-30 on both courts. Double fault from Andreeva, though, and we get the deuce. Hey, Suzanne, thanks for becoming a Tier 3 member. Hey, appreciate that. As Samsonova holds, and it's 4-4. Let me have a look. Who is a Tier 3 member at the moment? We have a few Tier 3 members, which is very, very generous. You don't have to be a Tier 3 if you don't want to. You can be a Tier 1. That's fine. So we've got Suzanne, Soul Power, Theo, Rodolo, Angela, Travis, Demariel, Linnea, Casper, Change, and Don. Thank you all for being Tier 3 members. Appreciate that. All right. As Bencic cannot break, Andreeva hits it for a winner down the line. That's 40. Back to deuce, sorry. All right. Love 30, by the way. Chance for... a break for... and a lead for Samsonova as we're forehand now from on the slice. Goes long and it's 15-30. 15-30. All right, 15-30. Also advantage Bencic to take the break in the second. Sinner versus Shelton coming on straight after the Swiatek match, and Djokovic versus Caboli after the Andreeva match. Swiatek serves a let. Serving the backhand of Bencic here. Backhand now from Andreeva. Bencic backhand again. The backhand of Andreeva. As Bencic with a forehand on the stretch. Andreeva down the line. Bencic is there with the backhand. Andreeva backhand into the forehand of Bencic. Andreeva backhand again. Into the forehand of Bencic on the stretch. As Andreeva forehand down the line. Bencic passing shot goes long. We're back to deuce. All right, 30-0 Swiatek. Djokovic on court 2. Djokovic court 2. Thank you, Maxine. Appreciate it. All right. As that goes out by Samsonova, 40-30 Swiatek. 40-30. Swiatek serves again. Also advantage on Andreeva to stay in front in the second. All right. Return goes to the back of Swiatek. Back in now from Samsonova. Into the forehand Swiatek. Samsonova forehand. Again, the forehand Swiatek and the forehand Samsonova. Swiatek on the stretch. Goes to the forehand Samsonova. Hits it long. And it's 6-5. Swiatek stays in front. Samsonova's going to have to play a tiebreak. Also, Andreeva, 2-1 in the second. She holds. Still no breaks in that match. Oh, nice. We got to 255. Holy hell. We just hit 250 like a week ago. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. Appreciate that. 255,000 subs. Ridiculous number. I didn't think we'd... I didn't even know what that is. So thank you, everybody. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're old to the channel, welcome back. Okay. 6-5 Swiatek. Let's see if Samsonova can keep this match going. Also, Bencic serving again. All right. Samsonova serving to get to a tiebreak in the second. Samsonova served. Rebecca Swiatek, and the Samsonova hits a winner down the line. 15 love. 15 love. Love. As the backhand goes in the back of Samsonova. Forehand to Swiatek. Samsonova drop shot in the net. 15-0. Don't know if that was the right idea. 15-0. Swiatek 3 points away from the semis of Wimbledon. All right. She serves out wide the forehand. Swiatek return goes into the forehand Samsonova. Swiatek forehand on the stretch. Samsonova again to the forehand Swiatek, who goes down the line for a winner. 15-30. Swiatek 2 points away from Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time. 15-30. Hey, Carl, thank you for the 16 months. Appreciate that. All right. 15-30. Samsonova serves. Into the forehand Swiatek. Return goes backhand to Samsonova, who hits it wide. Match point Swiatek. 1540 to take her spot in the semis of Wimbledon for the first time in her career. Last time she made the semifinals was in the juniors, so that kind of counts, I guess. All right, 2-all, by the way. Bencic holds. 1540, Swiatek to make the semis of Wimbledon. Return goes in the forehand of Samsonova. Swiatek backhand is out. One saved, 30-40. And also, if she does make the semis, she's made the semis of every slam this year. So she is on a roll. She'll take on the winner of Bencic Andreeva. Andreeva's talking to the umpire here. Not happy about something. All right, 30-40. Match point number 2. Samsonova serves. Into the forehand, Swiatek. Good return. That's a winner! Swiatek's into the semis of Wimby. And she does it not easily. I mean, it was easy until it wasn't. All right, Swiatek. Semi-final, 3rd in a row. And first at Wimbledon. She's so happy about it too. If Swiatek wins Wimbledon, I mean, come on. I don't think that was expected this year. She's only 2 matches away. All right. Iga Swiatek is into the Wimbledon semi-finals. She's so happy about it too. I love it. She's so fired up. All right. And that's, again, semi-finals Australian Open, semi-finals Roland Garros, semi-finals Wimbledon. So that's a great achievement. Even though she didn't win any of those slams, making the semis in all 3 is very, very consistent. Which is how Sabalenka got to world number 1, by just making the later rounds of the slams. That's, even though she was losing outside of the slams, she was making the semis of slams and finals of slams, and then got to world number 1 by winning. So Swiatek definitely on the comeback. Where is Swiatek's ranking? She must be top 4 again, right? Yeah, so if she wins Wimbledon, she'll be number 3 again. But she's currently number 4. Andreeva, if she does lose today, will be number 5, which is a career high for her. If Andreeva wins, she's this close to number 4 at Swiatek. And it'll probably come down to whoever wins that match tomorrow. Tomorrow. Anisimova is also in the top 10 for the first time. But, Swiatek is doing really well on the grass. Back-to-back semis on grass too. Chat, we're going to merge the streams. If you want to keep watching the Andreeva match, you can jump on over here. Andreeva Bencic, which is just in the middle, it feels like, of that match. And then we've also got Sinner coming on up against Shelton, which will be happening because Sinner is playing. He hasn't withdrawn, so Sinner will be playing, and we will be watching that match, which is very intriguing with this Sinner injury. So make sure you tune in for that. But Swiatek wins straight sets, and she's into her first Wimbledon semi-final. She'll play tomorrow in the semis, and she'll take on the winner of this Andreeva versus Bencic match. So far, it's Bencic in the lead, but Andreeva is fighting back. So let's see what happens.